Desde la Asociación Colombiana de Criadores de Ganado Jersey les damos la más cordial bienvenida a estos sábados de academia, sábados de aprendizaje, sábados para compartir experiencias y hoy una oportunidad súper importante, Jersey para el mundo, una mirada internacional con el apoyo del WJCB Bureau. Mil gracias a cada uno de ustedes que siempre está pendiente de estos sábados, de estas jornadas académicas que ha venido día tras día y sábado tras sábado enalteciendo y llegándoles a sus casas de la mejor manera. Aquí estamos para compartir, para acompañarnos y para seguir trabajando por las lecherías de nuestro país. Presidente, muy buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes para todos los que nos acompañen en el día de hoy. Para nosotros siempre será un placer tenerlos a ustedes acá en estas tardes de academia de la Asociación Colombiana de Ganaderos Jersey. Es un motivo de orgullo reunirnos todos los sábados a las 6 de la tarde y compartir con ustedes estas experiencias que hemos tenido la oportunidad de aprender a lo largo de este año y medio que hemos venido acompañándonos hasta ahora. Hoy, así como lo hicimos hace una semana, tuvimos la oportunidad de ver qué era el Jersey desde los Estados Unidos hasta Argentina, de norte a sur. Era nuestro objetivo poder compartir con ustedes qué están haciendo las demás asociaciones, qué están haciendo los demás compañeros y creyentes de la raza Jersey en Latinoamérica. Hoy, a raíz de ese live que hicimos hace 8 días, el World Jersey Bureau nos compartió unas prácticas que han venido haciendo en diferentes países del mundo, el cual queremos compartir con ustedes el día de hoy. Queremos mostrar cómo se maneja el Jersey en diferentes países, cómo se percibe la raza, cómo se ve a través de el manejo de otras personas. Entonces, no creo que les va a quitar mucho más tiempo. Quería dejarlos en compañía de estas grandes compañías con grandes amigos que nos quieren compartir cómo tratan de la raza Jersey. Bueno, pero sin antes recordarles que ya este mes tenemos Agroexpo. Al final de mes nos vemos en el pabellón de Corferias, en donde siempre vamos a enaltecer la raza, y esa raza solamente se enaltece con la compañía de todos ustedes. Los invito a que nos acompañen y que estén muy pendientes porque vamos a tener grandes sorpresas. Entonces, sin más preámbulo, buenas noches para todos y los dejo en compañía de esta gran exposición.
Jersey. It's an island in the English Channel and 13 miles off the coast of France. There's loads of history and it's famous for its beaches, great weather and
Jersey milk. My name is Morgan and this is Daisy, and we're on a mission to find out why Jersey milk tastes so good and how it gets from cow to carton.
I'm going to be talking to farmers about our island cow.
Our cows are so special, and the milk that they produce is very high in butterfat and protein, in calcium and many different minerals, and it's got much more of those good things than other breeds of cow.
We'll meet young dairy farmers who are passionate about the island.
Farming over here in Jersey is pretty exceptional, and there's no place I'd rather be, to be honest, on a sunny day like today.
And we'll be visiting the dairy to learn about all their safety measures. But first, I'm off to Lodge Farm to meet father and daughter dairy farming duo Paul and Becky Huse to find out more about the Jersey cow.
What's so special about the Jersey cow?
Well, simply she's the most efficient dairy breed of cow in the world, and she's great at turning lush grass into milk. Cows in Jersey have been bred without any influence of any other breed of cow. So all the dairy cows in the island are registered pedigree cows. They've got no influence from any other breed, and that's what makes them really special.
Do you name every cow?
Every cow in Jersey has to have a name, and that's the law. We've got a registered herd book, and in that herd book is the ancestry of every cow. She's been bred pure for well over 200 years, and that's what makes her very special. That's the milking cluster being attached to the cow. We pay a lot of attention to the cleanliness of the cows because here in Jersey the hygiene requirements are very stringent. They're probably the most stringent in the world, and we have to make sure the milk has a very, very low bacteria content.
So, what about the taste?
Our cows graze on fresh grass the majority of the year, meaning that our milk has high butter fat, high protein, calcium and vitamin D, and that's why the milk has such a unique taste to it.
The Jersey cow is special because they've been purebred for 250 years. They're really well looked after, and the milk's really good for you.
So, what's it like being a dairy farmer in Jersey? Time to meet Tom Pershad and his dog Pickle. Tom's family have been dairy farmers in Jersey for 3 generations.
How special is farming in Jersey?
Farming over here in Jersey is pretty exceptional, to be honest. I get to go out to work, be surrounded by beautiful countryside like this, and there's no place I'd rather be, to be honest, on a sunny day like today. The soil in Jersey is particularly rich and fertile, and it's great for growing a variety of crops, such as potatoes, but more importantly for us as dairy farmers, grass, because that's what we feed our cows on most of the time. And the grass over here is particularly lush and green and full of goodness, and that's reflected in the quality and flavour of the milk that our cows are producing.
So the countryside is beautiful, and the land is rich and fertile. Off to the dairy then.
This is the dairy, where all the milk is brought to from the farms. It's a really modern building, which was opened by Princess Anne. They can make all sorts of things out of the milk here, including yogurts, butter, and delicious Jersey ice cream. There's a laboratory where all the milk is tested using the latest equipment to make sure the best milk in the world helps create the best tasting products. The team are all experts, so let's meet some of them.
Before we start every morning, we clean all of the machines, sterilise all the machines before we start. If the machine is not being cleaned, it won't let us run. We're in the lab here at Jersey Dairy. All the milk collected from the farms is tested here first, and if it doesn't pass our rigorous safety checks, the milk won't come into the factory.
So, the milk that leaves the dairy is really safe, but what about the relationship between the dairy and the farmers?
Well, it's a very special one because we operate as a cooperative, and that means that all the farmers who produce milk in Jersey actually have a share and own the dairy. So it's very important for us that the dairy works really well.
How healthy are your cows?
Our Jersey cows are naturally very healthy, and that's partly because we live in an island. We're bounded by the sea. We don't allow any other cows to come into this island, because there's only one cow on this island, our Jersey cow. So the fact that our island home is got the capability of producing such special milk gives us the confidence as farmers and everyone who works at the dairy that the products that we're selling are the very best they could possibly be.
Okay, I understand now why Jersey milk tastes so good. It's because the Jersey cows have been purebred for 250 years. They're free range and feed on the island's lush grass. Jersey's lands are rich in nutrients, the cows are well looked after, and the dairy safety measures are some of the best in the world. And that's why Jersey milk and the dairy's products are so good. Try them and taste the difference.
savior. I know I can make it on my own if I try, but I'm searching for a great heart to stand me by underneath the African sky. A great heart to stand me by. I'm searching for the spirit of the great heart to hold and keep me by. I'm searching for the spirit of the great heart under African skies. Sometimes I feel that you really know me. Sometimes there's so much you can show me. There's a highway of stars across the heavens. There's a whispering song of the wind in the grass. There's a rolling thunder across the savannah. A hope and a dream at the edge of the sky. And your life is a story like the wind. Your life is a story like the wind. I'm searching for the spirit of the great heart to hold and stand me by. I'm searching for the spirit of the great heart under African skies. I'm searching for the spirit of the great heart. I see the fire in your eyes. I'm searching for the spirit of the great heart that beats my name inside. Sometimes I feel that you really know me. Sometimes there's so much you can show me. I'm searching for the spirit of the great heart. I'm searching for the spirit of the great heart. I'm searching for the spirit of the great heart to hold and stand me by. I'm searching for the spirit of the great heart under African skies. I'm searching for the spirit of the great heart. I'm searching for the spirit of the great heart. I'm searching for the spirit.
Dairy is Australia's fourth largest agricultural industry. It enjoys an excellent reputation for its quality, food safety, and progressive push towards environmental sustainability. The industry stretches across all states, with the main milk production centred around southeastern Australia's high rainfall coastal areas.
We're currently milking 450 cows here at Bushley. It's on a 120 hectare milking platform, so a stocking rate of just under 4 cows to the hectare. Our feeding regime is predominantly pasture based. We're in a high rainfall area in South Gippsland. We do buy in grain for the cows, around 1.6 to 1.8 tonnes per year, and also cereal and high protein hay. Probably to be the most profitable is what we can, producing milk as cheaply as possible. It compares well to farms in similar areas to ours, in high rainfall areas where we're a pasture-based system. But they do vary a lot throughout the state and throughout Australia in the hotter, drier conditions. There are barns setups in Australia now and total mixed rations as well. But it's certainly a lot different than North America, where cows are housed for most of the year. But then it's probably more similar to New Zealand, where cows are outside grazing pasture. The biggest changes would have been through the breeding program. Genomics is certainly a game changer over the years, whereas everything's moving at a lot faster pace. And then on the farm side of things, I guess we're, got a lot higher stocking rate. We're growing a lot more feed. Everything's a lot quicker now. I guess it's a never-ending challenge breeding. Our objectives have changed over the years. We're now a seasonal calving herd, so we are heavily focused on fertility within the cows. So it's an endless challenge. I truly believe the Jersey cow is the most profitable cow of all breeds. The stocking rate that we're able to run here per hectare is far higher than any other breed that we'd be able to run.
Australians love their dairy products, consuming 98.6 litres of milk a year and 13.5 kilograms of cheese per capita. Nearly 40% of Australia's milk goes into cheese production, 28% to drinking milk, 21% to skim milk powder or butter, and the remainder to whole milk powder and other items. Dairy is also a substantial export player, with 35% of production going to overseas markets. Australia is the world's 8th largest exporter of dairy products. Australia's clean green reputation will ensure these markets remain viable well into the future. Australia's farm gate payment systems are as varied as the country's climatic conditions. Milk prices paid by processors to farmers are based on the fat and protein content of the milk. Most payment structures are standardised to kilograms of milk solids. In 2021, the opening price will be around $7 per kilogram of milk solid.
The Australian Jersey cow displays a tremendous amount of dairy strength, and when you combine that with a great set of feet and legs, I think they're two key attributes that are pivotal to success, I guess, within a predominantly grazing system that the Australian dairy industry is. As well as a very high standard of quality udders. I think the Australian Jersey cow is a very correct cow overall, very balanced. What I'd call a very durable cow that can fit into multiple farming systems anywhere around Australia or for the world, that fact. The distinct advantages Jerseys have over other breeds are heat tolerance, longevity, health and fertility, and their feed conversion efficiency is second to none. Jerseys produce 17% more kilos of milk solids per 100 kilos of body weight than other breeds. For all these reasons, this is why I believe the Jersey breed is truly Australia's dairy's finest cow.
Essentially it's the same. We calculate for all the major traits, so very similar to what's happening in North America and across the world. We do have a couple of unique traits, a lot of emphasis on workability, particularly in our big herd situations, and we've also developed feed efficiency as well, or feed saved. Plus a heat tolerance, ABV, which is unique to Australia. The Jersey breed is unique, or its popularity comes from the fact that they're a moderate sized cow, so they suit our grazing conditions. We don't want extremely big heavy cows, particularly in our intensive grazing, but also the fact that their milk is high component. So that suits our manufacturing. We're basically a manufacturing base rather than a liquid milk. So high percent fat, high percent protein, it's really good.
The most popular markets have been South Africa, New Zealand, more recently the US and Canada, and throughout Latin America has been very popular markets for Australian jerseys. In South Africa alone, 2 bulls sold in excess of 250,000 straws of semen. The main reason those bulls were used heavily there was through crossbreeding, and those bulls offered fertility, feed efficiency, ease of calving, and heat tolerance is some of the main factors. Jerseys have been really embraced AI, particularly in the early days, back into the 60s when jerseys genetics first became available. There's a lot of New Zealand genetics used in this country. And then Jersey breeders embraced the North American genetics back in the mid-80s. And since then, they've had preparedness to use genetics from all around the world, from New Zealand, from the US, from Canada, from Denmark. And I'd have to say that I think the Australian jersey is a little bit unique in that aspect, because I think that Australia is probably the one country that's blended all those bloodlines together, which makes us very popular in other countries.
I'd like to give you an insight into some of the leading maternal lines developed by Jersey breeders in Australia. Our highest classified cow at Excellent 95 is the International Dairy Week Grand Champion Sherlyn Icy Eve. She is also the dam of excellent daughters and a sons of side excellent daughters, and she's produced over 9,600 litres of milk. She is by an Australian bull, as is a dam. We then move into some tremendous maternal lines like the Franklip Broadland Illusion line. Established by the 1949 Grand Champion of Melbourne, Royal Tolgarth Illusion, this family has bred and developed many Royal Show champions, leading sires, and indeed high-priced animals. The Bushleaf Fernleaf family is one of the great families in Australia. It has been successful right across the nation with grand champions at IDW and indeed Royal Shows throughout Australia, and many leading sires. The current highest priced cow in Australia of the Jersey breed, Van Fernleaf 10, is from this family. The Melanie family, developed by Wallisdale, is a tremendous maternal line, having produced 2 of the top 8 BPI sires currently, and many on-farm challenge champions and high-producing cows. The Darraway Vanessa family has been one of the most potent families in the breed, established in South Australia and produced many great AI sires like Van Alem, Navara, Bart Power, Hatman, Invincible, and the current number 3 sire, Algernon. Carnbray Estelle family was developed by the Carsons 70 years ago and has produced many excellent cows and many leading AI sires like Elton and Edison and Carnbone and the recent high-type bull Bontino. Also at Carnbray is the Daisy family, which developed the great IDW champion Valentino Daisy 11, Excellent 94. Her son Roulette is the current number 2 BPI sire in the breed. The Lovelies family has been with the breed for more than 90 years, established by the imported Jersey Island cow Lightsome Bar. Just recently, the top 5 of the top 10 BPI animals in Australia are from this maternal line. This family has won a host of Royal Show champions for generations and produced many leading AI sires like Aldrin. This is just a short insight to some of the tremendous maternal lines in Australia that have been part of the fabric of the dairy industry.
G'day, my name's Glenn Barrett, General Manager of Jersey Australia. On behalf of all our members, we'd like to thank US Jerseys for asking us to put together this video on the dairy industry in Australia. We wish all young breeders the very best of luck as they enter this year's Youth Academy program. This is an exciting opportunity for you to develop and hone your skills and capabilities and deliver benefits to the Jersey breed in the US and across the globe.
Chapter 2. The Cow. Let's start at the beginning. Unfortunately, I didn't have footage of the slimy spectacle that is birth, so I guess we'll just start here. The calf barn. Usually, the calf barn is filled with around 50 or so little ladies. This is where all of our cows start their journey. They spend their first 7 to 10 days isolated in a plastic structure we call hutches or igloos. The isolation is for their benefit as well as ours, as we can monitor them very closely while they stay isolated in quarantine, building their immunity. Then, later on, they join their pairs in big group pens where they'll transition to an automated milk feeder that feeds up to 40 calves. This is where they start developing their 4 stomachs. As you guys might know, a cow has 4 stomachs: the abomasum, the omasum, the rumen, and the reticulum. The calf barn is of utmost and vital importance in the development of every animal. It is also something that my mum and my dad have excelled at over the last few years. One thing to keep in mind throughout this whole video is that every single animal has a name. We have dealt with their families for generations, and we now have the privilege of taking care of them. Animal agriculture centers on this idea, the ideal of a mutual bond being created between 2 different species. We'll hit on this a little bit later. For the time being, our story continues. Calves have slowly graduated the calf barn. After 3 months of being in it and weaned off the calf feeder, their rumen, the most important stomach, has been developed. From the age of 4 to 15 months, they now intermittently live in a series of pens we like to call the corrals. The corrals have an eating area, lounging room, and a straw pack. The headlockers along the front of the corrals allow us to administer vaccines and artificially inseminate once they get to breeding age of 13 months. They spend the winter tucked away in the corrals so that they can later spend the warmer months experiencing the phenomenon called pasture season. Try to pasture all of our animals as much as possible, including our 110 cow lactating herd. Pasture and walking on the grass benefits these cows immensely, and it keeps their foot and leg structure intact, and it creates a cow that lasts longer, and longevity goes a long way in this game. But like all good things, pasture season too must come to an end. If you didn't believe that dairy is a mutual bond between human and animal when it was first mentioned, you will certainly believe it after a central Alberta winter. It's the time of year when Mother Nature is the cruelest. Howling winds, 50-degree temperature swings, and moisture highlight our daily struggles. All you want to do is curl up underneath a blanket. But we have work to do. We depend on our cows as much as they do us. The perfect place to exemplify this is in the barn. The barn can be explained in more simple terms as a luxury hotel for the hard-working businesswoman. No, seriously. We have a variety of rooms to choose from, including our semi-private suite, ideal for winter calvings, treating the sick, and segregating special cases. Do you prefer something more social? Try our secluded included two cleaning professionals. This is our most luxurious package, and it features all the basic amenities. An all-you-can-eat buffet, 2 room cleanings per day, free choice water, and a healthy work environment, of course. Or are you looking for our economy package? Same amenities minus the free choice hay and shared straw pack. Instead, you'll have access to your own bed and be able to work pretty much unnoticed in our comfortable lounging area. Okay, let's snap back to reality. To the people we tricked into thinking we were in a hotel, we were not. Sorry. We're in a barn, and what you're about to witness is some state-of-the-art milking equipment. It's fully automatic and performs all the functions of a conventional milking parlor, and then some. Meet the VMS. VMS stands for Voluntary Milking System, and it describes it pretty darn perfectly. The cows literally milk themselves whenever they please. For example, right now, Like Me, weird name, right, is getting her teats cleaned. The robot uses 2 lasers, a camera, and a 3-dimensional XYZ map to locate each teat. Once located, the teat is first cleaned using intermittent bursts of air and water in a cleaning cup. The less fidgety the cow, the faster the process. With every milking, the robot gets more and more accurate with the data it obtains. The first year was super fun times. However, nowadays, it's going pretty smoothly, all joking aside. After the cow is cleaned, the 4 milking cups are attached. This whole process can be done manually as well, which comes in pretty clutch for training young heifers who are more fidgety and nervous. But for the most part, the robots are pretty smooth operators, all on their own. Cups are individually pulled off when a milk flow of less than 120 mils per minute is reached. The arm then does a 180-degree spin and sprays a disinfectant onto the udders, which prevents bacteria from entering the teat canal. Once finished, the feed bunk withdraws, the cups are flushed, the cow exits, and a new cow may enter. Pretty frickin' cool, right? The amount of sheer data this thing gathers is absolutely insane. It helps us prevent illnesses like mastitis before they even have time to develop. We were always hesitant to go into robotic milking because we simply loved milking that much. It was a family thing. It happened twice a day. It was a bonding experience. However, after seeing how much both our young cows and old cows alike appreciate these machines, it's safe to say we'll never go back. And what's perhaps even more exciting is that over time, technology and the Jersey cow will only get better and better. There are so many more aspects of how the cow interacts with the land and how the cow itself operates. However, I can't get into everything here, so for that purpose, we're going to have to move on to the next chapter. The third and final chapter is the community. It's where everything ties together. We simply could not operate without the people around us. Not only are they our neighbors, they also supply us with goods and services that help keep our business afloat. In exchange, we promise to offer them a pure, nutritious product that adheres to both federal and provincial standards. For the time being, this looks like a milk truck that picks up 5,500 kilograms of milk every other day. That milk is tasted, smelt, sampled, tested, pasteurized, processed, packaged, then tested again before it even reaches stores. In the coming year, we plan to eliminate the truck pickup part and begin crafting our own products. This is super exciting and has been my dream since I was a little boy. Animal agriculture and agriculture in general cannot happen without interacting with nature to a certain degree. Farmers are making strides and incorporating changes into their practices continuously to make sure we can preserve the environment we all love. Every farmer knows that they are just borrowing the land from the next generation. Making sure it stays intact is of utmost importance to us. If you have more questions, do not hesitate to contact your local farmers, as they are all outstanding in their fields. On that note, thanks for watching. It really means a lot. I guess I'll leave you with this.
Bueno, hemos hecho un resumen importantísimo de la raza Jersey a nivel mundial. Esperamos que con estas imágenes y con esta información ustedes conozcan un poco más de cómo otras asociaciones y cómo Jersey se viene proyectando a nivel mundial. Mil gracias por haberse conectado con nosotros hoy. Nos vemos el próximo sábado. Y una invitación muy especial, ya lo decía el presidente al comienzo en el saludo, Agroexpo 2021. Nos vemos del 22 de octubre al 1 de noviembre. La raza Jersey estará presente 30 de octubre, 31 de octubre y 1 de noviembre. Y tendremos nuestra exposición nacional de la raza Jersey. Entonces, invitadísimos cordialmente para que hagan parte de este ejercicio de reactivación económica del sector pecuario. Y aprovechen la oportunidad para conocer un poco más de la raza Jersey. Tendremos transmisión en vivo, tendremos cómo poder invitarlos para que ustedes se hagan presentes de manera gratuita en Agroexpo. Entonces, por favor, muy pendientes de las redes sociales. En nuestras historias estaremos compartiendo un link para que puedan ingresar y realizar el preregistro directamente ante Corferias y acceder a su entrada gratuita. Y también los invitamos a que nos escriban al correo electrónico info@asojerseycolombia. Por esta vía les estaremos enviando también ese link para que se registren y puedan ingresar. Asojersey les invitará para que hagan parte de Agroexpo, hagan parte de esta experiencia. 30, 31 de octubre y 1 de noviembre, la raza Jersey en Corferias Agroexpo 2021. Los esperamos y nos vemos el próximo sábado. Feliz tarde para todos, un abrazo muy grande, síganse cuidando. Feliz noche.